Welcome to the Writing 1 presentation, What to Do with Research Once You Find It. I hope you'll follow along. Some of the content in this presentation is content that I've kind of cobbled together myself as your instructor, and some of it will come from the Chapter 41 in How to Write Anything.
Working well with sources starts with good organization. And of course, good organization starts with good planning. The key here is organizing by ideas, not by sources. We're going to explore that strategy in quite a bit more detail when we talk about writing papers and writing paragraphs. But the basic concept here is that you're not writing your paper just by grabbing a source, plunking it in there, grabbing another source, putting it in there. We have some students who they learned how to write papers, probably in high school, maybe elsewhere. They learned how to write papers basically by taking sources and just having a pile of sources, one source after another, after another, after another, and then maybe a couple of their own words in between just to, try to bridge between the different sources. College writing generally doesn't work like that. Occasionally you'll have a class where that is what's asked of you, and they'll tell you that, but for the most part, we're organizing by our ideas, not by moving from one source to another. So when you're planning that and planning out your ideas and you have some kind of organization planned out ahead of time, that'll help you as you work into your sources. The other thing that'll help you is smart reading, and that's chapter 21 in the Ruskowicz book really talks about reading in a smart way. That's something that many students don't have much experience with, so I urge you to go look at that chapter. Again, these are other things that we're going to talk about in other lessons, but I want to show you how they all tie in and affect the way you use your sources.
As you start finding sources, you should annotate them. What that means basically is recording your comments and reactions to what you're reading. So as you go along, you're just basically taking notes on whatever you're reading. If you look in the book, then you can see some examples where they use an article there, and you can look through and go down through the article and see where someone has made notes on the side. And that's really what you're going to want to do. You can either print out a source that might be an electronic source and make notes on the side, or some people like to find other ways to do that using notebooks and things like that to express their ideas. But I do recommend that you find a way to do that. The reason most experts and writing instructors highly recommend annotating sources is because it really helps you do some things that will allow you to incorporate them better into your papers. And here's a list of things. It helps you understand them better. Well, what does that mean? Well, let's dig in. You're going to identify the claims that the author's making. You're going to understand whatever assumptions the author might be making about a particular topic and assumptions they might be making about the audience. What does this audience already know? You're also going to do it to find specific evidence. And by taking those notes, it's going to help you actually dig in there and see what's in there. It's really easy to read things and then kind of get it and understand but not get the specifics. Taking notes helps with the specifics. And then you're also going to record your personal reactions. And I do this in the things that I read even when I'm preparing for classes. And some of my notes on the side of my texts are a little bit snarky, sometimes a little bit silly, but they help me remember what got my attention and why I thought it was interesting. And again, I encourage you to look at the example in the Ruskowicz book.